Hello everyone and welcome back to this system series of Star Trek Online. My name is Winters and you are very, very welcome. So, for this episode we are going to do dilithium mining, or focus on dilithium mining. As you may or may not know, dilithium is probably one of the most valuable currencies in-game. You can refine a maximum of 8,000 dilithium ore into a refined dilithium per day. There are other ways to increase that number slightly. We will touch on that later on. So the first thing is, where do you mine dilithium? Well, there's a number of different ways of getting dilithium in game. You get dilithium from story missions, you get dilithium from battle zones and adventure zones, you get dilithium from duty officer missions, admiralty missions, you get dilithium from PvE queues. There's a whole bunch of places that you can get it. But you can actually mine dilithium itself in a location in the Alpha Quadrant, which is known as the Vlugata Dilithium Mine, and we are currently there. If we open up the map for the Alpha Quadrant, we can see that it's just east of Deep Space Nine, just slightly east of Deep Space Nine. This is where we are, and this is the Dilithium Mine, or the Dilithium Asteroid Mine. So anyway, we're going to go into the mining station. In order to do this mining, you will need an EV suit. You can pick up a cheap one from the Dilithium store, actually. If we open up the Dilithium store and special items and boxes and then go to EV suits, you can pick up a bog standard one for 85 dilithium or 100 dilithium, depending on how advanced your fleet is. Trust me, this is the only one you want. Completely ignore these ones. There's no benefit to getting them. This one will do you perfectly. It's just, you know, a bog standard, and you'll be 100% with that one. If you are a gold or lifetime member, you may be able to get this EV suit, which is the one that we've seen in Star Trek First Contact. You can pick that up either, well, you can pick up the Federation one from Earth Space Dock. If you're a Klingon, you can pick up your version of it, as in the Klingon version, from Kronos, the first city. If you're a Romulan, you can pick up your version from New Romulus Command. Right, first thing is actually over here. This here is a practice station for mining dilithium. And if you are new to mining dilithium, it's actually a very good idea to practice on here and get used to it before you actually go out and start mining dilithium. When we interact with this, you will have the option of either clicking on buttons that will appear here, or you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard. I strongly recommend that you use the arrow keys. So this is what you do. You just have to line up the images with each other, and it will continue. Your score will continue to go up throughout the duration of this minigame. The minigame lasts for 1 minute exactly, and you can see here, these are the buttons I was talking about, but I guarantee you that using the arrow keys on your keyboard is far easier than using the mouse and pressing those buttons manually. Arrow keys are definitely the way to go, and yeah, definitely the easiest method of doing it. So what we're trying to do is, basically, the higher your score, the more dilithium you get. There is a cap of 735. Once you get 735, any dilithium over that, or any score over that, doesn't net you any extra dilithium. Once you have got a score of 735, you have got the maximum amount of dilithium that you can possibly get from that area. Okay, so that's practicing. I strongly recommend you do that, you know, a good few times until you get used to mining. Once you have gotten used to it, getting a score of 735 is not that difficult. It's very, very easy. At least in my opinion. If you're suffering with a disability or something, or maybe even an injury, you might find it harder, obviously. But anyway, yeah, next thing we're going to do is we are going to talk to this NPC here. They will have a mission called Asteroid Mining. We're going to pick that up. And there will be another mission there called Rich Dilithium Mining Claim Daily. You can ignore that mission for the most part. Basically, there are things that you can get as a possible option when opening lockboxes, and they're called Rich Dilithium Mining Claims. If you have a claim, you can come here and get a big chunk of dilithium once every 20 hours by mining at the Rich Dilithium Mining area. So yeah, for just an ordinary average free-to-play player, you don't have to worry about that. So make sure your EV suit is on, make sure it's activated, like so. You will see the light come on there, and then we exit the airlock. And if we look at the map, we can see here there's a number of different areas marked, different circles marked around the map. So we're just going to go to the closest one. And you can see we're doing a bit of a spacewalk, which is kind of cool. And this is what we're looking for. We're looking for these dilithium crystals that are sticking up out of the ground. And all you have to do is just play this minigame. Like I said, it lasts for 1 minute. And your goal is to get as high a score as possible. Once you get 735, that's it. You've got the maximum that you can possibly get. But I like to, try and get as high a score as I possibly can. I've often got over 1,000 in the minute that I have. I've done that on several occasions, got a score over 1,000. That now is difficult. It's just the luck of the draw, really. You will get some crafting materials while doing this stuff as well, which is, I suppose, it's a nice little bonus or add-on or feature, whatever you want to call it. But the main thing that we're doing here is mining dilithium, and there's the 735. We've got the maximum possible amount of dilithium, which is perfect. Alright, 855, nothing wrong with that. So you can see we got some crafting materials, and down here we got 200 dilithium ore. So now we move on to the next area. There are 5 different areas on the asteroid. So there is a total of 1,000 dilithium ore that you can get from the asteroid. And I'm not even sure if I'm going the right way. Yeah, there is a crystal up here. Get up there, get up there, get up there. Okay. This is what I'm looking for. So we're just going to go through the steps of mining. I know it's not the most riveting or exciting video that you've ever seen, but at least I'm going to show you exactly what it's like. To be honest, when you start off the game, this is very valuable. It's a good way of getting dilithium. Come here once a day, every day, and just spend 5 or 10 minutes mining. Yeah, probably closer to 10 minutes mining, and get 1,000 dilithium. Like I said, you can refine a maximum of 8,000 per day. So this, it's an eighth of what you actually need per day to reach the limit. And that's just from this asteroid or dilithium mine as well. That's not including. There's actually another one, and once we finish up here, we will be going to that one. So there's another 200. There's more crafting materials, and we are going to continue moving on to the next area. So yeah, we're doing a bit of prospecting. That's basically what you're doing here. You're doing a bit of prospecting. So look at the map. Yep, we're going in the right general area. But yeah, when you start off with the game, this method of earning dilithium certainly is a lot more valuable compared to endgame. When you get to endgame, you're going to be doing a lot of PvE queues. You'll probably be doing a lot of battle zones, and they would be a lot quicker ways of earning dilithium. Like if you're doing multiple PvE queues, and let's say you're getting an average of 720 per queue because you're playing on advanced level at least, then you know it's much quicker. Plus you're getting the marks on top of it, maybe even some elite marks. And then if you're playing elite PvE queues, that's 1,440 per queue. So you know, you can see how it can build up rather quickly if you are playing queues quite a bit. So yeah, at the beginning of the game it's a lot more valuable compared to endgame. Yeah, it's not a bad habit to get into. The thing about dilithium is you can never have enough. You can never have too much, is what I should say. There is no such thing as too much dilithium. You need dilithium for so many different things. You need it for making purchases. You need it for upgrading stuff. You need it for speeding up things. You need it for crafting if you are going to do crafting. You may very well not do any crafting at all, but I'm just pointing out that there's a lot of different things that you can actually use dilithium for. And of course you can convert dilithium into Zen if you want to purchase anything from the C-store. So we have prospected at 3 locations. This is currently our 4th. And then we just have one more to do, and we will be able to turn in this mission. But we're going good so far. A general rule of thumb that I found is as long as I have a score of at least 200 by the time I reach 30 seconds, I know I'm going to hit 735. That's a general rule that I've kind of set, well, not set myself, but I've noticed it's usually fairly accurate for me anyway. It might be different for other players, I don't know. But yeah, you can see if it turns out to be accurate for yourself as well. It may or may not, I don't know. Now, one thing you may have noticed as well is that the higher your score while mining, the more points you get per mining cycle. I think that's the best way I can describe that. So, right, we're about to start mining here. We line up the figure and the bar starts filling up, and each time it fills up, that's a mining cycle, and we were getting 5 points there every time it fills up. And you'll see here now, look, we're getting 10 points each time that the bar fills up, or each time we get a mining cycle, and it's going to go up to 15 now. See, 15, and then eventually it's going to go up to 20. Crap. 15, 15, 20, see? So the higher your score, the higher your reward per mining cycle. We're up to 25 now, going to go to 30, then 35, there's 35, and eventually then it will be 40. There's 40. Doubt we'll get to 45. No. No matter. Okay, now we click down here, return to airlock, and we go back to this NPC, and we can turn in the mission. And you can see now it's gone on a 20-hour cooldown. That took us about 10 minutes to do, roughly, there or thereabouts. Right, the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to beam up from here. And we are going to open up the map, and you can see here, Dilithium Mine Fleet Holding. There's actually another mine that you can visit, and again you can do this once a day, every day, or once every 20 hours. Your fleet, assuming that you are in a fleet, or a member of a fleet, it will have a Dilithium Mine Fleet Holding, and it's actually a location that you can visit. It has a number of different pieces of fleet gear available there. Basically, there's vendors at the fleet Dilithium mine, which is this bad boy here. We contact traffic control, beam to surface. But anyway, yeah, there are vendors located on the fleet Dilithium mine. Some of them have engineering consoles, some of them have advanced and elite warp cores, actually. And you have an NPC over here for duty officer missions, and these are really, really good missions to get into, because this one, mine motherlode of valuable minerals. You get really good development and trade experience. If you've watched previous videos of mine, you are fully well aware what they are. Trade is one of the more harder commendations to get experience for. And if you get a crit on these, look, see, it's nearly 1500 experience for each crit that you get. I've got the perfect DOFs for doing this, so you can see I have a 32% chance of getting a critical success. So we begin that assignment. It takes 18 hours. There is a second assignment called Mine Dilithium Motherlode, and basically it's almost a carbon copy of the previous one. Just this time there's a dilithium attached to it. And again, I have the perfect DOFs for doing this mission. See, I've got all the critical traits that are needed for it, and again, I've got 32% chance of getting a critical success. Now, this third mission, additional dilithium refining capacity. This will allow you to refine an additional 500 dilithium ore per day. It has a 100% chance of guaranteed success. It turns 500 dilithium ore into refined dilithium, and it takes 5 seconds to complete. So that's 8,500 dilithium ore that you can refine per character per day, assuming that you're part of a fleet and they have the missions unlocked on the dilithium mine. Right, this dude here, just on the entrance or exit out into the asteroid mine, will have a number of missions. If you pick up those missions and then activate your EV suit and go outside here, you can actually go outside, and we're going to go over here. Man, it's been so long since I've done this stuff. I'm trying to remember where I'm going. Right. Pretty sure, yeah. Okay, we're going in the right area. Excuse me. So there are a number of locations that you can mine even more dilithium here on the fleet mine. So you've got the asteroid mine, the Vlugata, or whatever the hell it's called, asteroid dilithium mine, and then you've got the fleet dilithium mine. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure it's another 1,000 that you can actually mine here. It's been so long since I've done it, because, like I said before, when you get to endgame, it's probably not the best way of mining or getting dilithium, you know, because you're just doing other content that's rewards far better. But yeah, I think it's another 1,000 that you can get here at least. We'll see now. Hopefully we get the 735 mark and we'll be able to judge it. Yeah, we're going good. We're going good. There we go. We hit the mark. Now, you don't, as far as I remember, or if memory serves, you don't get crafting materials here. Yeah, it's another 200 per location. You don't get any crafting materials, however. That is not the end of the world, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not that big of a deal. Right, so let's continue mining. And remember, if you are having trouble with this mini game, remember that you can practice at the Dilithium mine, the previous location that we were at. There is a console there that will allow you to practice this mini game and perfect it and become a real pro at playing it. Like anything, practice makes perfect. I've been playing this game for whatever, 7 years, 6-7 years. So this mini game it's not that difficult for me, to be perfectly blunt and honest about it. So yeah, there is a place for you to practice with it, and you know, you're not wasting anything or anything like that at all. Right, let's have a look at the map again. We want to zoom in a little bit. Right, we'll keep over here to the left. I seize it. So those 3 missions that we picked up inside the fleet dilithium mine, basically they just allow or unlock different locations on the exterior map for you to mine dilithium. That's basically what happens. The locations are not the same every time. They can vary. There's, as in there's a selection of places. Eventually you will mine, each area that is available. But yeah, it can change into a different area. One of the missions is very unique in where it actually requires you to go down into a chasm or a cave, and I'll show that to you guys now in a few minutes once we get this stuff all done. Wow, this one's going to be tight. No, I should make it, as long as there's no... Yep, there we go, 735. Okay, moving on. And should be down here somewhere. There's one of them. I hate it when the mining cycles are very short. Man, it just adds to the difficulty, I suppose. But yeah, I hate it when it happens. When there's these really short bursts between mining cycles. And there's our 735. Okay. Damn, I nearly got 1,000 there. Alright, next one is over here. Depending on what level your fleet mine is leveled up to as well, there will be more or less NPCs on the map. Like this dilithium mine, for this particular fleet of mine, we have it leveled up to max level, and we've unlocked all the the bonus items. So you'll see there's some NPCs running around doing some mining. You'll also see some dilithium horses mining through the rock or making their way through the rock. Yeah, it's just wow, I'm really struggling to say this. Aesthetics. Okay, nearly there. There we go. Excellent. Right, 895. Actually, there's a Horta, and see the hole that he burrowed through. Right, now, thing to help you navigate. If you click on these nav point beacons, you can actually navigate from one to the other. Let's see if I can get... Alright, I have to get a bit closer to this guy. There we go, now I can do it. Dang nabbit. I would have to get stuck, wouldn't I? There's an NPC, actually. Oh wait, we're right beside one of the mining things. I nearly went right by it. Okay, so this is one of the 3 missions complete now. So that will be, we've picked up 1,000. This is going to be 1,200. If memory serves correctly. going good. We're going good. There's an NPC right behind me doing a bit of mining. Hey, I broke 1,000. Excellent. And another 200 dilithium added to the stockpile. Okay. We are going to continue on. I'm going to move over here. We're basically heading back to the base now, is where we're going, but we're going to take a left, and I'll show you this area that I was talking about is kind of out of the way, and we've got a miner here already. Wow, that was a really short one. Wow, that was a short one too. Man, this is going to be tricky. If it keeps that up, I'll never get the score I need. We're good. We just hit the score we wanted. Right, we continue on. Here's the next one. So I suppose mining dilithium this way, I suppose, you know, it's just adding in a bit of variety. You know, if you're sick of the constant pew pew, always being in combat, and you know, you just want to shake things up a little bit, you want to do something a little bit different, this, you know, offers an alternative way of earning a bit of dilithium. You know, you could do this along with some duty officer missions and some admiralty missions, and you know, get your dilithium that way. Right, we're going moving on to the next one of these areas, which should be around here. Ah, I see it glowing. Here it is. Right, only 2 more to go, I think. So yeah, you know, it's adds in a bit of variety, because I know, like when they release new story missions, I like sometimes, you know, every now and then, I like for them to come out with a new story mission that isn't very combat focused heavy, you know. I like doing the sciencey sort of stuff because, you know, the previous 10 missions were all combat, very ground and space combat heavy, and you know, it's nice just to have a bit of variety and change things up a little bit. So maybe, you know, this might actually work really well for you, and you know, just change things up a little bit for you. Alright, another 14 seconds. Okay, now we're going to jump up here, if we can. There we go. And the next one is over here. Yeah, it's actually, this is the second last one. Alright, there's the mine impure dilithium crystals. Complete. And we just have one more to do after this, which I think is mine rich dilithium crystals. Pretty sure that's the last one. Right, now we're going up this area, and if you be very careful here, we'll actually go up here. So we're going to click on this nav point and we're going to navigate up to it, and you'll see why in a second. There's actually a rather sizable drop down here, and what you want to do is you actually want to use the nav beacons to get down. Let's see, can we get to that one? I don't. Oh, we can. We can get to that one. Excellent. Right. So yeah, use the nav beacons to actually get down, because it's more controlled that way. And then we go over here, because this is where the crystals are this time. Here we are. Mine ultra rich dilithium ore. Yeah. And basically it's just, you know, it's almost a carbon copy of all the other ones that we've done. Just the value of, or the amount of dilithium ore that we're going to get at the end is going to be different. That's the only thing that's going to be different. And there's our 735. And we got 480 dilithium that time. So not a huge payout, but you know, it's every bit helps. Now, one thing that I should point out about this that is very important is that those numbers go up when there's a dilithium weekend. So very important to keep that in mind, that when there's a dilithium weekend, both of these asteroid mines will reward you with additional dilithium ore. So yeah, you can get like, I don't know, what did we get there? We got 2,500 dilithium, maybe? So, you know, you'd end up with about 4,000 over a dilithium weekend, roughly. I think that's right. I might be off a little bit with the numbers. I'm pulling from memory here. Anyway, when the missions are done, you just go back inside to the dude that we were talking to at the entrance, or the exit, I should say. And there he is. Go back inside, talk to him, hand in all the missions, and they're all on a 20-hour cooldown. Okay, that is mining in Star Trek Online. It's a nice alternative from the usual pew-pew. You know now where you have to go to do a bit of practice. If you know you require practice, you know where to do that. You know the numbers that you get. So yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like. That would help me out enormously. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. And as always, please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. My name is Winters, and I'll see you next time. So until then, take care.